innovators and leaders, they create stories. The best, most progressive organizations in the world have what I call corporate mythology. And to me, culture is more powerful than strategy. The best way of changing culture is through stories. Stories create culture. I spent 10 years in my early career working for Marks and Spencer. They used to capture stories. The way they changed culture, they caught people who worked for the organization doing things right and used them to exemplify the culture, the behavior, the values that they're looking for. The role of every leader was to capture those local heroes and local heroines. And you start to move the organization's behavior with. If culture is the way we get things done around here. When I went to Glasgow, your operations centre in Glasgow, you've institutionalized communications. And that's what you want to do everywhere in the organization. And storytelling is the brilliant way of doing it. And I'll tell you, the M&S story, the one I'll never forget. And they tell this at every graduate induction program. And it would go round the organization very quickly. When something great happens, they just run it around the organization really quickly. And this was, someone went into a Marks and Spencer store in Ipswich. And if you're as old as I am, remember that if you didn't like it, you took it back. You could change it or get your money back. And it was their competitive advantage in the high street. Very expensive thing to do. Returning goods back to manufacturer cost us a load of money, but gave you a massive competitive advantage. Don't like it, take it back. We'll give you your money back. This guy turns up at this store in Ipswich. He had 2 suits. He said, I bought 2 suits, I've worn them once each, and both of them, the flies aren't working. I'd like new suits, please. I said, great. One suit he'd bought in 1946, and the other suit he'd bought in 1947. One was his wedding suit, one was his funeral suit. Now, we didn't even have any recollection on any of our stock files, but one would have cost less than 10 shillings, showing how old it was, and the other was about 11 shillings. The store staff, when he came in, the store staff sent him to the customer service desk, and they changed the suits. One cost £199, the other cost £299. Now, talk about corporate mythology. Talk about changing. The customer is king. No debates, no discussions. There was a great way of telling us that the customer is at the heart of everything we do. Smart organizations capture those stories. When Google came into the UK, Google is 10 years old, 10,000 employees, one of only 2 organizations on the planet who receive more than 1 million unsolicited job applications every year. People aren't going to work on a search engine. They've created fantastic values, fantastic culture, but most of all, everyone's heard of them. And their stories are legend now. When they came to the UK, they said, our employees only work 4 days out of 5. This is rubbish, by the way, but it becomes true. It says, our employees only work 4 days out of 5. On the 5th day, we encourage them to down tools. 5th day is Ideas Day. They have one challenge: think the unthinkable. Pause. 80% of our corporate innovation comes from that 5th day we give off to our staff. It was rubbish. Last year, I went over to San Francisco, to Google, to see the winner of their idea scheme. Yeah, everyone has this idea scheme. I thought I was going to see some suggestion scheme. This was unreal. Unreal. The founders turned up, and they do a Founders Award for the idea, the initiative of the year. The winner got $10 million. Yes. Doesn't that catch your attention? Now, imagine how that goes round the organization. What is at the heart of Google? Innovation. Get my drift? The stories can become the reality. And that's your challenge as leaders.